Hello everyone, my name is Dara Riz and welcome to my channel. Today I would like to discuss with you how long does it take to make a ceramic piece. Short answer, it takes minimum 3-4 weeks to prepare a single ceramic item. And next I would like to elaborate on the reasons why it takes so. The reasons lie in the process. So I would like to highlight 3 steps which we need to pass in order to receive a ready ceramic item. Step number 1 is shaping. Firstly, we are taking piece of clay and just simply shape it in a form that we like. And in this step, we can decide what we would like to make. We would like to make a cup, we would like to make plate. Also, complexity of shaping depends on which form we would like to make. For example, for this shape, I used additionally flowers. I was stamping flowers. Obviously, it took longer than, for example, to make just this type of shape. But this type of shape had its own peculiarities because I was using template and I was putting clay on top of template, and in order to put it correctly without air bubbles, it also takes some time. With making cup, I'm just taking piece of clay and shaping it as I like, without any forms, without any templates, nothing. So the duration, how long it will take, it depends purely on your idea. It may take 10 minutes, it may take a few hours. So it's up for you to decide how long your project will take, shaping of your project, because after you shaped your project, you need to leave it to dry out, and it takes approximately 5-7 days. After your project has dried out, it's time to fix something with wet sponge. Maybe there are some peculiarities that you would like to remove, and this is exactly the time when you can do it. So next, after those 5-7 days, you are removing some defects, you're trying to correct your item, and at this stage you can also paint. For example, if you would like to use colors, you can paint your plate at this stage, if I'm not mistaken. After you have finished with fixing and everything, the next stage, number 2, comes, and this is the stage of decorating. At this time, you can choose the design if the design should be done after the piece is dried. With designs, there is peculiarity that some designs can be done at the process of making shape. For example, as with this cup, this design, it was made with colored clay, and I used colored clay while I was shaping the cup. Some designs you can do later, after the piece has dried out. You can do coloring. So it depends on particular type of design. Sometimes you can just use glazes of some color, and it will be design of your item, and it will be done at the last stage. Sometimes you can just take piece of clay and leave it as it is, just glaze it without any additional colors or something. So it depends, but there is still a second step of design, which depends on your particular idea. After you have finished with design, with fixing, this item goes to the kiln for the first firing. After first firing, you receive your item, but it already has different technical characteristics. It's still fragile, but it's much stronger, and it's dry. It does not contain any water, or minimum any water. So yes, it has different technical peculiarities. And after your item has finished with first drying, with first firing, it's time for this item to be glazed. The time for glazing, it depends on glaze that you take. If it's, for example, glaze where you need to pour down your item, it will not take long as with, for example, transparent glazes as well. However, there are glazes which are applied by brush, and it may require to apply it in 2-3 layers, for example, and if the item is big, to work with brush, it also takes some time. So this glazing process, usually it does not take that much time as, for example, decorating or shaping itself, but still it's an important step of the process, and you should keep in mind that it also may take some time depending on your idea. And after the item is glazed, it should be returned back to the kiln for the second firing. And after second firing, you will receive your piece. It's already not piece of clay, it's already some plate, some cup, or whatever you made, and it's ready for usage as you planned. Those are 3 steps which I identify as steps necessary to make some ceramic piece. First step, shaping. Second, painting. And first step, shaping. Second, decorating. And third, glazing. Of course, this is very general observation. As we have already discussed about design, it can vary from situation to situation, from project to project, but generally speaking, we identify those 3 steps, and therefore they justify the time that we use for making ceramic piece, 3-4 weeks, because 3-4 weeks. This is what I wanted to share with you regarding time, which it takes to make ceramic piece. Please share in commentaries your experience. How long does it take for you to make ceramic object? I will be very curious to read. Thank you so much for your attention, and see you soon.